What's going on, truckers? Thanks for watching. Everybody's getting into them lease purchases nowadays. Let's talk about that a little bit. Here we go. The home of the do-it-yourself trucker. When everything goes wrong, you gotta recognize. What's going on, truckers? Thanks for watching. Now, if you real quick, just give us a good like when you watch the video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and that'll really appreciate helping out the channel and helping us grow and getting our messages out there to everybody, and we sure appreciate it. So today I want to talk a little bit about lease purchase and being an owner operator, basically, or just those kind of decisions in general. And before I do that, let me thank Trucker Tools for helping us out and supporting our messages. Trucker Tools is an all-in-one app for truckers and their business. The Trucker Tools app was built from feedback from real drivers and is always being updated to better assist drivers in saving time, running more efficiently, and making more money. Check out their website at truckertools.com, and I'll post the link to their app in the description below. That's Trucker Tools, the app for truckers. So you hear the term all the time, and it's called lease purchase. Well, everybody needs to kind of understand what that means. Lease purchase means you're basically renting a truck, and you're leased on to a carrier, and you're leased onto that carrier, and that carrier owns that truck, and you're buying the truck from the carrier. Now, everybody may say, no. The carrier doesn't own the truck. This other company does. Well, check that company. Make sure that that company, they probably are owned by the carrier. You know, they set stuff up on the side, and they always move stuff around, and they have a different name. You know, it's like if you work for Joe Blow Trucking, it'll be Joe Blow Trucking Leasing Company, you know, or some kind of different name so that you don't even suspect that it's the same company. But also to check it out to make sure if the company is different, if it's not owned, ask that company and check with that company to make sure that they're not just for this one other carrier. You know, that's the other thing too. There's a lot of leasing companies where you can be a lease purchase with an actual finance company where you're renting the truck from them, but they're not tied to any carrier. You can go work for any carrier you want as long as you pay them the truck payment to that, you know. And they say, well, but if you work for these carriers on this list, we can take the money directly out of your settlement instead of you having to mail in a check. You know, that kind of thing. There's all kind of other things out there. But just remember that when you sign on a line to buy a truck, if you're financing it at all, you're either doing one of two things. You're either buying it and getting financing through a bank or a creditor, and they're going to put the title of the truck in your name, and then underneath your name it'll say lien holder, and the name of the bank or credit company creditor will have their name down there as lien holder, and then your name will be on the title. That's your truck. You have the right to have anything to say about that's your property. According to the law, that's your property. Okay. So the other thing is that you're a lease purchase or lease operator where you're leasing the truck. Now, like I said, there may be other things that are different, but if you never see the title of that truck, and the title of that truck, even if you just see a photocopy, it'll never have your name on it. If it never has your name on it, if you never see your name on the title, then it's not your truck. Okay, which means that you have to read the contract very well on your lease agreement. And a lot of times those contracts will always say, because especially if you're not getting the truck, if they're not checking your credit or you're required to make a down payment or anything like that, that means they're giving the truck on just your word that you work for this company and you're a truck driver and you're going to make payments. So a lot of times it's always they're going to take the money out of your settlement and all that stuff like that. So just you need to understand, you need to read. Never, ever assume. Don't even take anyone's word. I don't care if it's your brother-in-law or your best friend that's getting you to lease this truck. Read the paperwork, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to give you a walkaway clause, which means that if you're not happy with the lease, if you get into a circumstance where you need to leave, then you could walk away, give the truck back, no harm, no foul. Well, guess what? The same is true with the other way around. If they're not happy with you, if they're not happy with what you're doing, if you violate the company policies of the carrier you're leased to, and they say you can't work here no more because you broke some kind of rule, it's in the contract with the lease, null and void. Clean out your truck. We'll see you later. So I see this happen all the time where a guy says, it's my truck. I can do what I want to do because it's my truck. If your name's not on the title, it is not your truck. And the carrier or whoever owns the truck, the lease company or the carrier, 9 times out of 10, it's two of the same. They have the say. It's what they say. So if you're in the truck and if you're in the truck and you're at home and they want their truck back and you don't bring them the truck because you say it's my truck, they'll come get the truck. And they have every right to get the truck. And you have no right to tell them they can't have the truck. It's their truck. Okay. Not even if your payments are current, it's their truck. Okay. Unless, like you're saying, that your name's got to be on the title for it to be your truck. So with all that said, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying no. Okay. People should be able to do whatever they want to do. That's what I love about trucking, is there's so many aspects of what you can do. You can go do whatever you want to do. Okay. Just, you want to be educated. That's what you want to be. You want to be educated. So you weigh the good with the bad, pros and the cons. There's a lot of people out there that are lease purchase and they'll never own a truck because they say, well, they give me a brand new truck. I take that truck, I run it. And 3 or 4 years later, I turn it in, I get a new truck. But I never have to like turn in my truck or slip seat or anything like that. That's always my truck. And I do what I want inside the truck, pretty much just when I'm over the road, that's my truck. When I go home and take a week off, that's my truck. When I want to get something nice put on the truck, I can get something nice put on the truck. When I want to have a certain work done on the truck to improve fuel mileage, it's my truck. Those kind of things is what the pros and cons are with buying trucks. It's you weigh out your options on that. I know some companies where if you do a lease purchase, they tell you're not going to be able to buy this truck. We're going to lease purchase the truck to you. 4 years later, you're going to turn it in, you're going to get a new truck. That's required. But you're always going to have new equipment. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of your payment and we're going to stick it in an escrow. And at the end of the 4 years, you get to take that money out and put it as a down payment, and it'll bring your payment down. So your new truck, your next truck, the payment will be lower. So that's an option. There's all kinds of options out there. You got to weigh the good with the bad. What it is that you want to do. What is your goal? If you got a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 15-year plan, a 1-year plan, 6-month plan, whatever you think, it's up to you. That's the best part about this country. It's the best part about this industry, is there's a lot of options like that. So I just want everybody to make sure they understand the truth about it is don't sit there and, cry about they're taking your truck away when it never was your truck to begin with. You did a lease purchase, you got injured, you had to go home, you got sick, you had to go home, and maybe I don't know. A lot of times we think that because we took 2 weeks off, it's not a big deal. Because I'm an owner operator, I lease purchase. That's, so I told them I wasn't going to be able to make the truck payment these next 2 weeks. So, and they said, okay, maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but that's like, strike against you. 2 or 3 months go down the road and you do that again, maybe they don't like that so much. When you own a truck and you can't make a payment, you call the company and you tell them I'm not able to make a payment. What they might be able to do is say, okay, we're going to take this month's payment, we're going to add it to the end. Sometimes they do that stuff too. You work with them, talk to them. But a lot of times these companies, they'll just say, well, just don't make the payment this week and we'll catch it up, where you'll be in the negative. Then, you take 2 weeks off and now you got 2 truck payments behind, and eventually you'll never catch up because they don't do that where they'll just take it off and that way you'll still make money. So like I said, there's a lot of good things. Don't get me wrong. You get a brand new truck, lease purchase, APU, inverter, all kinds of cool stuff. But, comes at a price. Everything has a price. So, risk, reward, pros and cons, all that kind of good stuff. So just everybody have the facts on that. We appreciate all you truckers out there doing a great thing. We hope to see everybody out there for the truck shows. I hope that none of them get canceled. that's a big deal. You know, we're still trying to get opened up. Hopefully the freight rates will pick back up. Everybody stay safe out there and stay successful. And we hope to see y'all real soon. Have a great summer, and we'll see you out there on the road.